think I still accidentally, when I came back, it didn't go. Oh, I messed up, but it's fine because this is still in beta, which is weird. That the settings are automatically turned super high auto. Let's just continue and finish this up. Because this is supposed to be average an hour, and it's been a little bit over. Reaching for another letter, I'm tense all over. A feeling gnaws at the inside of my head. I suddenly feel like a horse had kicked me in the gut, knocking the wind right out of me. Doubling over, knees buckle. I wheeze. You forgot, didn't you? A pain pulses in my wrist. Oh no, it's happening again. I have to go back. But the letters, no. I will not go empty-handed. Straining, I snatch a few more letters and turn to leave, but a squirming in my palm alerts me. I look and see empty hands. What? I swear! I look down, and the papers are dropping to the floor in slow motion. Looking to my hands, I see sticky, glowing strings hanging from my wrist, where my hands used to be. The odor of rotten eggs fills my nostrils. Biting heat creeps up my arm. Ilar looked like this before they disappeared. No, I plead, trying to gather up the streaks with my stumps. But no, more and more of me are turning soft and melting like cheese in an oven. As I stare, my skin becomes increasingly translucent. As I see pumps, as I can see fluids pump through my veins with each heartbeat. Ugh, that's creepy. Horror, fascination. I'm frozen, unable to pull my eyes away. Parts of my skin bulge and tear open, spilling ooze that drift away into the unseen current. The eel on my arm shudders, wriggles from the confines of my skin, and swims away. My mouth hangs open, but a maddening itch creeps across my body. I let out a giggle. It itches everywhere. It's so itchy I can't stop giggling and shaking. My vision swims. Lines and shape meld. A sting on my wrist. Ilar's pain. It sets my heart racing. This. I can still feel it. I can still move. There comes a distant voice. I try to turn towards it. Streaks of colors spin around me. No room, no death, no dimension. Everywhere when I shut my eyes, the afterimage flashes behind closed lids. I was a ghost wandering through an ethereal painscape. Imagine hearing Ilar's voice closer. I imagine. Did I shout a reply asking them to guide me? The itch between my ears is so loud. Did they hear me? Are they replying? Is that the eel swimming alongside me? I follow what I think is Ilar's voice. Oh no, it can't be. My feet are so numb that only my rhythmic thuds tell me I'm stepping forward. My eyelids are heavy as boulders crushing together. I count steps one after another. One time, no distance, no distance, just stepping. I don't know how long I can go on like this. Doot doot doot. Something firm and warm touches my shoulders. I don't know how much time has passed until I struggle my eyes open. Blobs of shimmering colors swirl and congeal into an impression of gesture of the room. Hot bright needles withdraw from my skull. Ecstatic coolness, I sigh, wincing at the agonizing relief, then finally drop the clutch tension and slump to the floor. Tears fall, but I don't care. Ilar's grip eases me down. Welcome back. They say, as if I'd gone for a holiday. I can only wheeze. I swallow. This is a nightmare. Don't make me go back there. I press my cheek to the smooth stone floor. Cold as balance. Balance is good. You said it would be easy. I almost Death couldn't be worse than this. A palm touches my head. I twitch. It goes away. It comes back. Small motions, stroking. You lingered, didn't you? A shaking starts somewhere inside me, grows into a heavy and then soundless laughter. It all seems so ridiculous. Me looking for a recipe to get close to the portal, helping the stranger who drags me about, hurting me, telling me it will be easy, and I can't linger? Straightforward. Ha! Don't overthink it, they say. My belly is sore from the convolution, but it won't stop. My world is a blur. Maybe it's better like that. Sink it all to the bottom. Elah's awkward patting resumes. You don't have to tell me. I know what it feels like. Another wave of vertigo smears across my head. And you'll get used to it like I did. Think of it as a lesson, if it helps. It doesn't. At least the room's spinning is slowing. Elah sighs. Dreadful, isn't it? I can almost hear their smile. To find yourself in such a strange place, not remembering, not knowing, peril around every corner. I hear death is not unlike that. You go to the seas, but not as yourself. You go as a new thing, emptied of the past, like it never was. They look down with a stiff grin again. With a stiff grin. Maybe it's not much worse than this. I lie on the cool stone, rolling their words on my tongue. Emptied of the past. A new thing. Dot dot dot. You know what? It almost sounds nice in a way, I say after a while. Death. Maybe it wouldn't be so hard. Say we stop struggling, let things take their course, then what? We get to leave all this behind and end up in the seas of something new. Elah's eyes slowly widening. A fresh start. I turn onto my back, closing my eyes, letting my heart adrift. Something simpler this time, like a pair of ghost fish. I would be something nice. A dolphin, maybe. You would be an eel for what you did to my wrist, but I wouldn't mind. I'd let you tag along. We won't have so much trouble, just swimming around, singing, playing, waving at wet land dwellers. I feel Elah lying down next to me on the floor, the back of the hand touching mine. I don't flinch this time. Aside from the fact that dolphins aren't fish, that does sound somewhat less cumbersome. But why do you get to be a dolphin and I an eel? But I an eel. See, again, I thought, that's weird. Whatever. Are you sure you'd live such a good life? I roll my eyes internally. Oh, I don't know. I just have a feeling. Really? What kind of feeling? Hard to say. I feel alright. What does that mean? It means I must have been a decent sort. I don't imagine someone who's lived a terrible life would feel alright, memories or no. Shh, that's some funny logic. Wait, why are you asking me? Do you not know what kind of person I was? Maybe. Do not maybe me. This is important. If we're going to jump into that thing, I would really like to know what to expect. Now it's jumping in. Why not? If it happens either way. I would not like to sit here and stare at it more than I have to, would you? No, I suppose not. And you did not answer my question. How was I? Elah turns to look at me, and I them, our faces inches apart, their eyes piercing, searching. Fine. You were a decent sort. I grin. Most of the time. Hey! I poked at their ribs. They harumphed, looking confused. I burst out laughing. Ilar stares at me with mounting perplexity, but a dimple of humor too. I can hardly believe they're the same person from before. Come to think of it, I can't believe I'm the same person from moments ago. Catching me staring at them, Ilar's smile stiffens. They sit up and look away. I cough, sitting up too. Right, if this finding a spell and sealing off the abyss business goes belly up, we have a backup plan. What do you say? Backup plan. All right. Ilar stands up, pats themselves, and then clears his throat. So what did you find in the journal? Oh yes, let me see. There was an entry that gave me a strange feeling when I read it, like it could be important. Seems I was working on something called sublimination. How much do you know of it? Still obsessed about that, eh? Even after all this. Really? Huh? Nothing about it rang any bells for me when I read it. Ilar shrugs. What? What was I trying to do exactly? I often wondered that myself. What does that mean? Questions, so many questions. Has it ever occurred to you that some things can never be known? Or that some questions only lead to suffering? The awareness starts to come over Ilar's face as they speak. What do you mean? How can the search for knowledge possibly be harmful? Easily, by disregarding the consequences of the search. I resist rolling my eyes. All right. I suppose you will have to tell me what were the consequences of sublimination then. Ilar chuckles. What's funny? Oh, just that I never expected to have to explain this to you, but... Very well. I'll try, even though I'm sure it won't help. How can you be so sure? Ilar shakes her head, looking at me with a cryptic smile. I simply am. You know, I think you just enjoy being mystifying. Perhaps. However, in this case, I know it won't help. Because either you won't understand it, in which case you will suffer, or you'll understand, in which case you and everyone around you will suffer. You are being dramatic and unfair. Shouldn't I get to decide? Ilar sighs in a thoroughly dismissive manner. They look up to the ceiling for a while before starting to pace around me. Sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. They're fish who live their entire lives. They're fish who live their entire lives in the falls that feed the sea mouths. Life for them is perpetual, struggling, ever upstream. They swim for salt water. Is deadly to them. Fish? What does that have to do with it? Ilar raises in a hand. A metaphor. Please indulge me. All right, these fish, they swim up a waterfall their entire lives. From the moment they birth to the moment they die. Sounds so very tiresome, doesn't it? The metaphor is for what the fish are. Ilar peers straight at me. Sharp glints like diamonds in their eyes. Us? Do we live like those fish in the same way? In some way? Oh, no, I see. Ilar nods and beckons me to continue with a hand. Oh, no, oh, that was him. Whatever. Let me see. If I was such a fish, I would try to find a way out of that struggle. Another nod, another gesture. Sublimination is the way to break out of the struggles of life? Ilar nods again. That's how it always starts. How? By asking the very question, is there a way out? Is there? You certainly seemed to think so. Way out, I whispered, closing my eyes, focusing my heart on the journal. A word rings out faintly. Exposure. I hear myself say, exposure was the key, but to what? Ilar arches a brow, mouth open, but recovers quickly. For fish. It would be to the salt water at the meeting place. And for the humans? They look away, voice low. Are you certain you want to know some questions? Uh, you know, some questions are best left unanswered. Yes, but the sooner you answer me before, the sooner I leave you. Oh, sooner, blah blah blah. Uh, God, I'm dizzy. That's what happens when I start this late. Another long sigh. Very well. It's your miso. Water is life, the meeting place of waters, the edge of life and death. I mouth an O. Ila smiles in intense, humorless. You thought you might become so adapt to the substances of the sea so that they would no longer harm you, and you could shed the profane vessel escaping to the struggle. Then you'd roam thereafter eternal, sublime, freed from death. They seem to be on the verge of laughter, but I am absorbed by the imagery in the head. Freed from death, roam thereafter. That sounds ambitious. Recklessly ambitious. How far did I get? You're here, aren't you? They continued pacing around me, hands clasped behind their back. That is not an answer. Too far, not enough. They wave a dismissive hand. Annoyed, I turn to face them. Let me try again. Is it possible, yes or no? Depends. No, I want your answer. You were my partner. Did you believe I could do it? Many have tried. Many. None have made it. That's still not really answering my question. Alright then. I present you with two options. It's either not possible at all, or no one had the metals for it. If you had to pick one, in the first case, you're already doomed. In the second, you'd have to accomplish what has never been done before. It is a fool's errand. That's my pick. Somewhat dejected, I looked down, and that was my obsession. Ila paces. For how long was I obsessed with this exactly? Longer than necessary. My turn to shake my head. I thought that I was some brilliant magus. Now I'm not so sure. Could I have been a bit more naive or even mad? I look at Ila. Would you believe that one can be all those things? Their voice is a touch gentler. You were not really on board with my ambition, were you? Many enduring relationships were built on disagreements. Did we have ours? Everyone disagrees sometimes. I can't imagine you disagreed with me from the start. Otherwise, why would you have become my partner in the first place? All things are waters. All things are ever in flux. Why should you and I be expected? So, you did support my plans at some point. More than you know. However, I hope now you could be prudent and help me with my plan. I sigh. Alright, Ilarix relaxes visibly as if they've been relieved of some burden. I can't resist asking. Will I ever get a straight answer out of you? Certainly, they said flatly. I look at them, unsure how to react. Seeing the doubt on my face, Ilar adds, "Really, I can't lie to you if I tried." Ilar clears her throat. "You didn't encounter any mentions of the ritual we need?" "No, I had no time. I stroked the spot on my wrist. There are probably a few dozen spells in the book." Ilar begins to pace back and forth, brows locked together and muttering. "Those are not uncommon ritualistic components." "No, won't get through that way. Need more time." "We can't afford to make mistakes, Grand Observer. You'll have to do better than this. Did you find nothing else?" I don't know whether to be embarrassed, frustrated, or indignant. Indignant. I tried to read more, but my body started falling apart. I almost didn't make it, remember? I feel the cut on my wrist, remembering. Wait, was there something else? Something strange happened, as opposed to. This was different. How so? One breath I was standing by the general. Then, the next, I was in an office of sorts. Did you see me disappear from here? I still wonder whether it really happened or not. I'm afraid I've been Oh, never mind that. I'm afraid I've been preoccupied by Abyss Dravar. I see. Anyway, it was only for a few breaths. What happened in this office and how did you get there? I closed my eyes, remembering I was afraid. I thought about what ever happened if I failed. I wish that I didn't have to do this. Then I was ashamed to have been afraid, then angry to have been ashamed. Ilar's lips twitched slightly. You do not tend to overthink things, but go on. Okay, I'm honestly gonna save here. Because I can't do this. It's very late. Oop. It is hella late. But I will post this video in 2 parts. I will why am I saying posting this video? It's not over yet. The story is still continuing. I will continue from where I left off on the next episode. Goodbye, and keep track of me. This is a pretty good story. I am just very tired. It is late, and I do have a lot of plans. So, goodbye, and I will keep this up.